Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still with the afternoon's edition of our show, Cairo Local Time. And for more on the Minister of Foreign Affairs' visit to the United Kingdom, London, we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, the former Assistant to Foreign Minister. Very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Fine, thank you, sir, and thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your time this afternoon. Now, of course, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdelati, convened with the UK National Security Advisor, Jonathan Powell, stressing Egypt's interest, of course, in promoting political and economic as well as investment cooperation with the UK and increasing British investments in Egypt. How do you see the meeting between the Foreign Minister and the British official?
This is very important, and
yes,
it comes within the very active policies of our Foreign Minister, Badr Abdelati.
Yes.
Also, our President, as an old diplomat, I am running after our President and our Minister of Foreign Affairs to watch them how they are doing, not from one day to another, from 1 hour to another.
Yes.
And here he is in a visit, I call it European visit. And as you well know, the European Union is the largest partner to Egypt, whether in trade, in investment, in economic cooperation. So we expect this to be enlarged. And if we want really a very solid market for our exports, it is Europe, of course. They can absorb much more than we are doing now.
Absolutely.
But we have to invest more to produce whatever they need, not whatever we want to produce.
Indeed, Mr. Ambassador. Also, the Minister of Foreign Affairs met with the British Minister of State for International Development and Africa, Baroness Jenny Chapman. Also, the meeting focused on ways to strengthen cooperation, stability and development across the African continent. How do you see the growing momentum when it comes to ties between Egypt and African countries and bilateral ties as well between Egypt and the United Kingdom?
Yes, this is another story. And my lesson I came with after serving in several countries in Africa is the following. If you want to enlarge your trade with Africa, you have to invest in Africa.
Yes. Because
70% of what Africa is importing, we do not produce. So we have to invest in Africa, and there is a huge possibility to invest more and more in Africa, especially in three fields. First is ways and means of making solid machines, textile machines, such things like that. Second is ways and means of transport. We do not produce any way of ships. We do not produce any ships. The third is food. Although Africa is a huge area which you can cultivate on the game, it's not well used. And one of my ideas in projects was to use the talk to what I call tripartite cooperation between the Egyptian experience, the land of Africa, and the finance coming from donor countries. And we had up till now 2 positive reactions from China and Japan. And lately it was the initiative of our president to Europe that come and invest with us in Africa. We can gain all of us.
Absolutely. Finally, Mr. Ambassador, talks between the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the officials he met throughout his visit also addressed regional issues, including efforts, of course, to de-escalate tensions in the Middle East, supporting U.S.-Iraq negotiations, of course, and the importance of protecting the international navigation, the Strait of Hormuz, and global economic stability. How do you see the diplomatic and effective role Egypt is playing in this regard?
I always say that Egypt is the most accepted faith in Africa. Since Muhammad Ali Pasha, since the Pharaonic period, I visited some African countries, and they are proud that they have Pharaonic origin, yes, Egyptian origin. So this is the way they look to us. So we have a good stand to deal with Africa. Also, we have good experience with the Egyptian Fund for Investment in Africa.
Yes.
But it lacks more and more capital. That's why we are inviting donor countries to come and to take the opportunity and to invest with us in Africa. So this is the deal. With Britain also, lately they supported us to get $1 billion from the World Bank with a guarantee coming from United Kingdom. So the relation with all our friends in Europe is getting much more better, and we are on the right way.
Absolutely. We'll leave it at that, Your Excellency. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, former assistant to Foreign Minister, many thanks, sir, for your time and your insight and for joining us this afternoon on Cairo Local Time here on Nile TV International. Moving to more news, Egypt has resumed delivering aid to the Gaza Strip on Tuesday as the 199th aid convoy of Zed al-Izz arrived to Gaza through a subgate of the Rafah land port. This came in the framework of efforts exerted to